This is going to be a very different video to my normal content, but I felt compelled to make it because if I can help just one person avoid the misery that I went through, it'll all be worth it. I bought a pair of Gen 4 Astro A50s back in the 2019 Black Friday sales. I've now spent hundreds of hours with them across loads of different games, and they still perform as if they were new. Well, they did, until about 2 weeks before the warranty was due to expire, when I suddenly noticed a strange crackling and popping noise through both ear cups. After watching a bunch of videos on YouTube and reading plenty of how-to articles and Reddit posts, nothing I tried got rid of the noise, so I returned them to the store and was offered a new pair. Unfortunately, when I got them home, the crackling noise returned. I figured that the likelihood that I got two faulty pairs a year apart with the same problem was slim. So I did what any perfectly rational person would do and decided to troubleshoot absolutely everything I could think of to narrow down the problem. After a shit ton of investigation and many emails back and forth with Astro's support, I finally made a breakthrough, and now my headset works perfectly. So in this video, I want to share exactly what I did to get to the bottom of it, and how you can go about fixing audio issues with your A50s too. Now, just before we get started, a lot of my suggestions specifically relate to the Gen 4 Astro A50s, but I've also included plenty of generic tips for troubleshooting wireless headsets. So if you're having similar issues with a different model or brand, stick around because hopefully I can suggest something that you haven't tried already. Also, you're probably curious what was causing the weird static noise. Turns out it was a wireless baby monitor. So if you have one of those, it might be worth checking that out first because man did it take me a long time to figure that out. Okay, so how did I figure out that the baby monitor was causing interference? Basically, it was a process of elimination to find out if the static noise was being caused by something in my setup or if the headset itself was faulty. Now, I can't guarantee that any of these suggestions will fix your problem, but they should at least help you identify what's causing it. Hopefully, it's as simple as turning off a baby monitor. So the first thing you should do is try different games. Audio issues and glitches may actually be a problem with the game you're playing, particularly if that game is Cyberpunk. And trying different games is a very quick and easy way to test if the problem is being caused by the game or your hardware. If the problem persists, the next thing to check is if you have your headset set up properly. For the PS4, navigate to the settings. Then select Devices and select Audio Devices. Make sure the input device is set to USB headset Astro A50 voice, and the output device is set to the same. Then check that the output to headphones is set to chat audio. Now, go back to the main settings menu and select Sound and Screen. Go to the audio output settings and set the primary output port to digital out optical, and make sure that Dolby Digital 5.1 channel is checked. Next, set the audio format priority to Bitstream Dolby, and you're done. If you're using them with something else like an Xbox or PS5, I've put some links in the description for those systems. Otherwise, check the Astro site or the instructions that came with your headset for the setup guide. Also, if you're using them with the PS4 Slim or PS5, you'll need to get an optical output via HDMI splitter, as they don't have an optical out built into the console. If the settings are correct and you're still having problems, try hard resetting your headset. To do this, hold the game button and the Dolby button down for 15 to 30 seconds. When doing the hard reset, have the headset plugged directly into a power source without the base station. Let it charge for 15 minutes and then retry. The next thing to try is a different USB port on the device you've connected the base station to. You can also try different cables. The issue could be as simple as a faulty USB or optical cable. You'll also want to make sure that you're using the latest version of the headset firmware. This can be downloaded via the Command Center software on a PC or Mac. To do this, simply set the base station to PC and then plug it into your computer via USB. Download the Command Center from the Astro Gaming site and open it up. By default, it should look for the latest firmware version, but if not, you can manually update it using the gear icon in the top right. This should only take a few moments to download and install. When it's done, you can set the base station back to PS4 or Xbox and plug it into your console to retry. Next, you can try power cycling both your console and your TV or monitor. This can be done by turning them completely off, disconnecting them from the power source, and leaving them unplugged for 1 to 2 minutes. Then on your TV or monitor, press and hold the power button for 30 seconds before you plug it back in. This will drain any residual power that might be causing problems with connected audio devices. Now in most cases, doing the above should either fix your problem or at least help you identify if the headset is faulty. But if it doesn't, like it didn't fix my crackling issue, and you're still not sure if the fault is with the headset or something else, here's some other things that you can try. If you normally connect your headset via the optical cable, try testing it with the audio coming through the USB. And vice versa, if you normally connect them using the USB, try testing the audio through an optical cable. This will let you know if you have a faulty cable or possibly an issue with either the USB or optical ports on the base station. Testing the audio through the USB is as easy as plugging it into a PC or a Mac. To test it through optical, you'll have to configure it in your console's settings. If you followed the setup process I covered for the PS4 earlier, you've already done this. Again, I've put some links in the description for other systems. Next, try the headset with different devices, such as different consoles. If you can, take it to a friend's place, because this will help you identify if it's an issue with the headset or something else in your setup. You can also try turning off or moving any high intensity lighting that is near your headset and/or your console or computer. So things like a powerful lamp, maybe a key light if you're a streamer, or even a giant lava lamp if you happen to be from the 70s. Try turning off any Wi-Fi you have in the house too. 5G in particular can cause interference. If this turns out to be the problem, most Wi-Fi routers let you change the channels they transmit on. If it turns out to be the Wi-Fi, try playing around with these settings to see if there's a channel that doesn't cause interference. It's also worth turning off any other wireless devices in the space where you're using the headset. In my case, this was the last thing that I did, and it's how I discovered that the baby monitor was the cause of the problem. With the amount of wireless tech in our houses these days, there's so many devices that could be causing interference, such as smart TVs, smart home appliances, wireless speakers, etc, etc. Don't just put them into standby either. If you can disconnect them from the power, this is the most foolproof way to know for sure. Also, don't assume that because they aren't in the same room that they can't interfere. Again, in my case, the baby monitor was downstairs, which is why it didn't occur to me earlier that it might be causing interference. And finally, this is more of a future-proofing suggestion, but make sure to use a surge-protected power board with your equipment. Protecting your equipment after the fact won't fix any existing sound issues, but it could prevent them from happening in the first place. If you've tried absolutely everything I've suggested and you're still having problems and are about to write a huge cranky post on Reddit about how shit Astro are, try reaching out to their support team first. I can't speak highly enough of the service they provided me, and even though they didn't solve my problem, they did everything they could to help me troubleshoot. Just remember to be polite. Treating people like shit isn't likely to get you the best service, and it's not the support person's fault that you're having problems. Anyway, I hope this has helped you out. If you have any further questions, let me know. Subscribe for reviews of games and gaming hardware, but otherwise, thanks for your time.